All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our Huntington Bank highlights from this game as we roll along here in our post-game show. And we go back to the first period. And in the first period, you even heard Dan talk about it. There's a bit of a sleeper start, hard to really get going. And Fort Wayne got the early goal to get things rolling for the Komets.
They scored quick and then kind of turned around and almost got a second goal just a couple minutes later. But Toledo able to keep them off the board other than that one score in the first period, but really getting outshot quite heftily in that first period, Toledo was, and then they finish up and they ended up outshooting Fort Wayne 31-21 by the time the night was over.
That's right. They got outshot 12-6 in the opening period. So Fort Wayne had a heavy part of the play early on, but then as we got into the second period, this play kind of sparked everything a little bit as well. Mitchell Hurd upended. He took the penalty right after. He had the great chance here. And, he wasn't thrilled about not having a penalty call there against Fort Wayne. And then he got into the fight.
I mean, Coach Watson talked about just what a game changer he is going to be when it comes to camaraderie and the atmosphere and just how his ability to get the crowd hyped up and also make things happen on the ice. And we really saw that tonight. There he is kind of setting up that opportunity as well.
Yeah, there you go. Getting in the mix of it in a night when Toledo needed that. We got into the third period. The Walleye are down 2-0. And what do? Ryan Lowney, Conlon Keenan, very creative there. And Brandon Schultz finishes it. When you look at it again, the fact that Keenan passes it across the goal mount instead of trying to shoot that is impressive.
Yeah, and it's that split-second decision. There's hardly any time. I mean, now looking back, it's like, he thought about it, he could turn. No, that's happening so quickly, and it was almost like his knee-jerk reaction of the ability of him to see that Schultz had a better opportunity than he did, and for it to capitalize. I mean, what a great opportunity.
And it finished off there from Brett Boeing on a power play, tied the game, and then Mitchell Hurd, the great play, just to roll it over. I don't know if he was trying to get it over there to Gazzola. It got there, and that's what mattered as Randy Gazzola finishes it off.
Mere seconds after you talked about how clutch Randy Gazzola is. I mean, it's like you couldn't have drawn it up better.
No, certainly. Final look at our College Advantage stats from this game tonight. You mentioned it, Claire. After the 12-6 in the opening period, Toledo outshooting the Fort Wayne Komets 25-8 the rest of the game. That's impressive in its own right. They ended up with a power play goal matching what Fort Wayne did, so even in that regard. And it ended up being a pretty even game overall. It's how we ended up in overtime, but Toledo comes away with the victory.